Check. Check one. Check one. Check one, two. Everyone's here. Steve, are you here? I think I
Yeah,
saw
just
you.
got in.
Hey, just got in. Okay. Let me make you co-host there real quick. We got some
Okay.
fun stuff to talk about. Let me see. Co-host. There we are. Okay, so all I have is this little camera extra. I named it. Uh,
Yeah, I see it.
yeah. Well, you guys are on time. I have a few fun things you're gonna like. I screwed up a little bit, but we'll figure it out. Let me hit record here. I think it's recording already. No,
It
no.
is. It's recording. It
Okay,
said.
okay. Okay, so I think Bob asked me a question the last time, maybe 2 times ago, and you were asking me how to make spaces when you're naming a, a registration. You got it? Okay, okay. Yeah, good, good. Okay. So we should start with me playing a song, but I want to make sure that it sounds okay for with Steve. Steve is kind of like my Steve is my in charge here. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Here we go. Hang on a second. Oh, stop it, would you? What? Oh, I see. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. I'll go back. All libraries. Now we're okay. There we go. Okay. Well, something pretty interesting happened a couple days ago. It was kind of funny. I wasn't expecting it to do what it did, but that's okay. Let me see. There we go. And load up registration. Hang on there, Steve. Give me a sound check real quick. Okay. So how does this? Oh. How does I gotta get this camera out of the way for now till I go do playing. Okay. Well, yeah, I've been on the phone forever and it got late. There we go. So tell me if you can. Sounds okay, Steve. Turn this off.
It's good.
So I decided to do something crazy. less than 24 hours ago. And I've been working on this thing. I'm going to play in a concert. I'm going to be recorded live. And then we'll have access to share the concert with you guys. It's sold out. So even if you wanted to, if you had money was no object and you wanted to be here for it, you can't get in. So sorry. Oh, someone's there. Steve, you want to let them in? There we go. Okay. So I posted on Facebook this thing that says, finally decided to upload. This is the first kind of professional registration I've ever done on the Estey MK. And I posted and I said, what the hell, nothing's going to happen. So I left the house and I went to get a piece of salmon at the supermarket. That's what I wanted to have for dinner. So when I got back, I get this little bell, bling, bling, bling. I said, wow, who the hell's looking for me now? So it's Facebook. And it took me 20 minutes to go to the supermarket and back. And in 20 minutes, I had 700 views. People have watched. 700 people watched it. And I'm like, what's going on? Why? What's so weird? And all I did was, this was an introduction to a new organ in the U.S. market, and it was supposed to be introduced in December of 2023. And I just got around by doing that. And then this morning I said, well, that must be kind of weird. Well, I just checked. It's over 3,000 people, and it hasn't even been 24 hours. We have dealers asking, how can we get this organ? We have people like, wow, and how do you do the symbol? And what's that hand? And it's like, it really, I'm overwhelmed with the popularity of it. So I'm going to play that. If you haven't seen it, you're going to get to hear it now. And I'm playing, this is what I'm opening in the concert when I do the concert here locally. And I'm telling you, it sounds like $1 million. It's unbelievable. So this is a piece of music written by John Williams for something in, I think it's Star Wars 4 or for 3, I forget which one. And it's called The Throne Room. Oh, you got on, you're on this camera? Okay.
Yeah, I need it repointed though. We're not going to see you playing much.
Well, no, it's frozen for some, oh, I know why later. It might be better. Can
Okay.
you, can you go back to
Yeah.
me? Oh, there you go. No, go back to
Yeah.
the camera because I can
Oh,
angle it. Yeah. Let me see what I can do so it gets a little better shot. I think I prefer this view. At least you'll be able to see fingers. Hang on 1 second, bear with me. Yeah, that's actually pretty good, Steve.
yeah, that's good.
That looks good. Okay. So it's a John Williams piece of music. And if you want the presets, you're welcome. I'll give them to you, but you can't play this song. This is very difficult to play, but you're welcome to have the sound. So sit back and enjoy The Throne Room by John Williams. Here we go. Anyway, back to the.
Hey,
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Wow. I made a few mistakes. You guys make me nervous. I was
You may
getting
have to do it
nervous.
again because
Yeah,
I
it was fun.
you may have to do that again. Your talking voice is louder than the organ, so you may have to play it again later.
Okay.
Can we
So my
turn up
talking
your
voice.
can we turn up your organ on the
Sure.
mixer? On the
Yeah.
mixer?
Yeah. Okay, I did.
Just do a little test there so I don't make it too loud where it clips for you. I think it picked up. But you might have to play
Loud?
it at the end.
Loud?
No, that's okay. Loud is good. It's just as long as it doesn't clip.
It didn't distort, did it?
I don't think so. What do you guys think?
That's
Steve's got
good.
the headphones on. Did it clip?
Did it clip, Steve? No.
No, no, it did not.
Okay, good.
All right, but
So
anyway,
Robert,
sorry to interrupt.
you're gonna have to help me with what I screwed up. So before we get going, I made something really fun. So in your email, you're gonna receive an invitation from me, and it's a folder called MK5000 fun stuff or fun something. So what I'm gonna do every week, I'm gonna give you a little Christmas present. So every week I'm gonna put something in there. And today we were talking about play along files. Remember we talked about that last week. So I have in there what you need in order to be able to do it. But Robert, what I did when I created the folder, I made first members to the folder, and then I created the folder for today called Let It Be Play Along, and then I added the list of all the people you gave me. So I need to make all those people also owners of the folder, of the MK folder, not the subfolder. So maybe you can help me with how to fix that. So here's the idea behind this concept of mine. And remember, I'm always thinking as a teacher. And some of us have great timing, and some of us are meh, and some of us are really bad. So this is an exercise that if you're really good at it, then you can increase the involvement of your playing depending on how good you are. So it's designed to someone that's never played before and can only just play the right hand, but it's also designed for someone like me. So if you're above the entry level, what I call at the kindergarten level, they don't even know what a C note is. So if you're, way higher than that, then you have more ability to play melody and then add some chords to it. But the exercise that you have to be dead on. So in that file, you have three items. You have an MP3 file that is necessary in order for the MK5000 to play the file. Then you have a registration file that's called Let It Be Play Along. And then you have the music. I included the music, and if you're not good enough to only play single notes, there's chords in there you can add if you want to. You'll see the music. But the exercise is to play it, and when you start and you end, you're both together. I mean, you did it good. And this is a very easy song to make sure you're doing it right. So if we go to the camera on the side there, Steve, I'm gonna hit the registration icon, and I found something really. At least I didn't know you could do this, Steve. This is really nice that I was able to find this out. So I go to the left side of the organ, all the way on the left. There's a registration button. And look, Steve, I can now zoom. I don't know, I can't zoom. Wow. I was zooming before. There's a registration. It's the last button on the left, and it says REGIST, regist, for registration. So when you push that, I have a bunch of stuff. This is my personal stick that I use when I play the Estey organ. But I also went in there, and it's going to be under the name Let It Be Play Along. So these are shortcuts. So instead of having to go, turn or go all the way to the L's, I can just hit the L letter, first the K, and then the L, and then the organ will take me to all the styles that begin with letter L. So that's kind of a good thing. And then I just go to Let It Be Play Along. I'm gonna try to just focus it a little bit closer so you can see what it says. So it says, let it be, play along. You see that? And then you're gonna load it. So you're gonna hit the load button and then confirm it. Okay? So the music is the same music we used in class. So if I go open up, let it be, and it'll be on my first set of lists here. Oh, stop it. All scores. I'm finding the song Let It Be. L-E-T-L-E. Let It Be. There it is. So this is the music from my class. And it starts with a bunch of chords on the top. Just playing, But if you're not good enough to play that, you only just play single notes. But now look at the magic here. And I'm always going to make it number one. The special effects number one will have the play along file in it. So when I'm ready to get going, get your hand in position, ready to play, and then just reach and push number one. And that starts playing the file with all the chords, the background, the pedals, the drummer, everything. So I'm going to leave it so you can see a little bit of the hand. So I'm just playing the score as I would have it in the music. And then I'm just playing the song. And I want you to see what happens. Once in a while, if I'm going to get kind of bored, then I start adding some chords on the left as well. So let's do it twice. First, the simplicity of just playing the song itself with just the melody, nothing else. So hit special effects 1, and here we go. So if you noticed, if I would have stopped playing the melody, back to me, Steve. If I would have stopped playing the melody, you wouldn't get the song. So that file plays the strings, the bass, the drummer, everything. And then my involvement at that point was just to play the melody along with the song. After a while, I get bored of it because I can play better than that. So if you want to, the chords are also in the song. So just go ahead with your left hand and then start adding the chords to the song, and it gets even bigger, fuller. But I think it's a fun thing to be able to build a library that you can play songs like this to friends and family. Just don't say that oh, I'm playing along with files. They don't know that. Remember, people are musically dumb. As long as they see you moving your fingers, they think you're doing it all. So if I would have never told you that I could sit out on a concert with 500 people and say, and now I'm gonna play Let It Be, and you can stay in this camera, Steve. It's okay. So what will happen if I don't say anything, and then you're gonna see me play chords, and you're gonna see me play all kinds of things, but in the background, it's all happening. So I'm just playing the file depending on how good I am, and then you just keep adding to it. So if we take that same concept and now I just add more to it, listen to how good that sounds. So remember, it's on one. That's where the file exists. So it's been loaded by the registration in there, and you have to hit preset one. So let it be, play along, hit load, confirm, and then you have to push preset one. Okay, and we're good to go. So here's me playing it with more. So now that's a little bit of overkill because I was going crazy. But this whole concept came to me because I've been working with Yamaha since the beginning of the year, and they're big on all this type of technology. Play along files, follow the ball, and it really helps with timing. So I figured we started with something very simple, and then we can get more involved. So this is not going to be part of my classroom material. This is going to be just for you guys, and then every time I come up with something new, then I'll share it in our fun folder. I'm going to add one more thing of it. There's a way on this organ to upload personal pictures in it. So if you have a picture of a late husband, a daughter, your significant other, or some place that you remember, you can upload it internally to the organ, and when it comes on, you have a choice of powering on that picture as the screensaver. And that's something that Craig was big on that. I was like, why do you want to do that? And I said, well, because imagine if we do a promotion and then you're trying to sell this organ, you can take a picture beforehand, and then when you go demo the organ, you say, oh, your picture's already there. I guess you already bought it. And I go, oh, Craig, please. he, he has a way of spinning things around. So I'm going to put a picture in there because it has to be a specific size in order to work. And I'm going to tell you how to load it in there. So if you go to the display mode, and I'm going to grab the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Today we're doing a bunch of good stuff here. New things. So in the window, you'll see picture mode right here. Picture mode. And when you do that, on the right hand side of it, there's a thing that says update picture. You see that? Update picture. So what you need to do is grab the file that I'm going to send you and put it into a USB. Of course, that file that you just uploaded needs to be on that USB before you do the update picture right here. So download the file I gave you, stick it into a stick in the computer, and then put that stick on the organ. And then when you hit update picture, it'll say, are you sure you want to update the user picture? And then you're going to answer, confirm, yes. Start updating. That's it. When the message goes away, then you'll have new pictures to look at under the display mode. Right now, I don't have anything in there, so it's okay, you know. But you'll have access to more pictures than that. What that is inside the organ. And don't worry because you can't get rid of what's built in. So remember, I'll kind of just remind you when you hit the A category, which is the home organ page, it brings the picture of a home organ. If I hit the B, it brings a picture of a jazz organ. So that means that all the presets are related to that instrument. If I hit C, you'll see the picture of a classical organ. So all the presets underneath are related to that product. And then of course the last one is your theater organ. And then when you see that picture underneath are all theater organ registrations. And you can't get rid of that, so don't worry. A, home organ. B, jazz organ. C, classical organ. And D, theater. And they're related to the presets underneath. They're related to these guys. So whatever picture you see up there is what you're going to get on those presets. In this case, a theater organ or whatever you push that changes the picture. So, all of a sudden the camera got really funny. Must be all this computer screening, Steve, that doesn't like it. And rightfully so. I'm going to tell you one more trick today. Now, next week, we're going to revisit going back to basics again. And I'm not talking about turn on, push one. I'm talking about review and do a review class and then take things because I really like this view. It's really easy to talk and it's pretty clear. The window is really hard. The cameras see pixels that we don't see, so it looks like it's blue, but it's not really blue. It's white, but the phone doesn't know how to read it. So now over here on the right hand side, you have two excellent buttons, which I'm sure you're already using. You have your category presets and you have your song presets. So with the song presets, I'm going to show you a trick that maybe I already said, but I don't remember. So if we push the song category, they go along with this book. Let me get the book. And you should all have this book. They go along with this book. The best songs ever, right? What I didn't tell you is that there's some crazy other things that I did to make it more fun. Remember, I'm all about sitting down here, and you should tell yourself, "Well, I think I want to sit down for a few minutes and play a song." You can go back to me, Steve. And then what happens after you sit down for a few minutes, like 22 hours went by, and that's what happens to me. I live in this room probably 90% of the time, so that's my front door, and as you see, I'm surrounded by stuff. This is all I ever do. I just sit here for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I love it. So part of the design when I designed the song setups was to give you a variety. So the computer can only accept on that format. If you go back to the camera here, Steve. So when you see the name of the song, which complies with the book itself, so if I go to the book and I open up the first page there, and it says Candle in the Wind, okay? And I don't know if you know, but this song was made popular no other than Elton John. You see that? So there's rhythms on this organ that you might have not gotten to it because you don't know how to get to it. So this should have the registration as Elton John would play it. So if we go to the song setup and we hit song setup, right? Then in the screen, you'll have the titles of the song. Now they go in order, in alphabetical order. They're not in the order of the book. So if you look in the screen, start with A, then B. So you're gonna have to go down to the letter C. I prefer it that way, and then scroll down to Candle in the Wind, and you could go Candle. I already passed it. Yeah, Candle in the Wind, and then you hit load and confirm. That's always that procedure never changes for anything you do. A registration, a song, a category, a song. You always have to tell it what you want and then confirm it. And then now we're ready to play. So what that has done, if you notice, is set up the introduction. It set up the registration. It put the one finger on. Everything's good to go. So when you hit the first chord there, the F, in one finger, it should sound like Elton John. Here we go. So, pretty cool, huh? And it sounds great, and registration's great, and I spent hours working on that registration. So what's the trick here that you could do? So let's go back to the other pictures, Steve, so I can kind of let them know a little secret here. So all I did was bring the name of the song, Candle in the Wind. I hit confirm, everything's good to go, and just start to play. Well, that to me is boring because it's the same thing every time. I don't have any variety. I do have a split sound, but there's a trick that you can do. Over there, we're all familiar with it, 1 through 16. Let's go back to the camera, Steve. So if you go back to that button where it says 1 through 16, while you're working with the song setups, you simply turn this on, okay? You just added 32 other ways to play that song because now in between the keys you have presets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see all of those presets now go with Candle in the Wind instead of just getting one. And because each one of them has a sound on the upper keyboard and also a sound on the split. So if we do that example again, and I'm gonna just leave the camera so you can see what I'm doing. So I started with the original setup, which was the song setup, right? Just did the song setup. So song, Candle in the Wind, load, we're good to go. I don't have to do anything, I just start to play the song, and then about 3 or 4 bars into it, I'm gonna reach over and push 1 through 16. And now I can use all of these as I also play the song. So here's the original intro. remember, in order for you to have access to those folders, you're gonna have to reply to my email, and that's I sent you a private invitation. I called Robert, and I asked him to give me all the emails, and then once you accept the invitation, you have access to that folder. So every time I put something in it, you can just go retrieve it. And we're gonna do this every week, and I promise it'll be something completely. It's not gonna be just the same thing. Depending on the week, what I found out that I was having fun, we'll share it with each other, and I'll give you everything you need in order to make it happen. In this particular situation today, you need three files: the music, because some of you are not in my class, so you won't have access to it. You need the registration file, and then there's an MP3 that's not necessarily needed for you to do anything, but the preset, when you load it, is looking for that file, so it can put it right there on the special effects. So if you don't have that file, the organ doesn't know what to do. So just maybe it's time to get yourself a new stick. And Loretta, you're gonna laugh. I was sending somebody an update today to a product, and look what I was using. The famous PNY. Okay. So I sent him the file, and he just called me and said my whole keyboard crashed. Nothing works. And I said, I know why. It's because this. I'm gonna when I'm done with this meeting, I'm going outside. I'm gonna take a hammer and I'm gonna beat the hell out of this thing and throw it in the garbage. This is the only kind to get. It's the greatest thing in the world, called SanDisk or Lexar. Lexars are also good. So be careful that you don't get. It's happened to Loretta. It happened to Betty. You don't wanna. You wanna stay away from these people. They're bad. They're bad. Bad mojo. So you're gonna put those three files in that stick: the registration, the music. No, the music you need to print it or put it to an iPad if you have it, and then the MP3 file. And you simply put it on the organ, and then you go hit the registration icon on the left side, and then go look in the window for let it be play along. Okay. And don't give yourself history. Don't give yourself victory yet, because it's if you're one of those people that, oh, I don't read the music, I just play what I hear, you're not going to have a good time. So you have to play the notes I wrote at the time that they're supposed to be played. And I'm telling you, if you do it right, you're going to play it 20 times and be like, wow, this is fantastic. I sound so good. Because you got all this help in the background. I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm adding obligato line, which is like an underneath harmony to what you're playing. And then when the chords are being played at the end, if you're just playing single notes, I'm playing the other two notes that you're not playing. So it takes hours to do, but I love doing it. I love doing it. I enjoy it. It's fun for me to do. And I think we should. What happens every week, we get together and then I go crazy, and then you go so confused. So today we're gonna remind you again, just those three files that need to go to the USB. Number two, you need to accept the invitation I sent you to the folder. That way you're a member of the folder. You don't have to pay anything. It's all taken care of. And then don't forget about the song setup. So when you use a single song setup and you're playing along, if you start to get bored, you need more sounds, better, other ways to play it. Just reach over while you're playing and hit 1 through 16, and then push anything underneath. And if you like what you heard, then you can bring your music. Oh, I like 7, I like 5, I like 9. So make yourself little notes, and it's all behind the scenes on the song setup files. They all are there, but you can't access them. You can't access them unless you push the 1 through 16. So that's kind of a really cool thing. Um, I think that Robert, you're still here or you're gone? He might be gone. So next week we have a few other new members that I haven't been attending for some reason. I don't know why. And then we're gonna touch on some basic things to catch them up, and it won't be boring. Believe me, I will have enough stuff to throw you in there. Uh, I have a couple of chats there, Steve. Can you help me out and tell me what they are? We're okay?
Just a second.
Okay.
Marco, I
Right,
got a question, Jerry.
Is that Jerry?
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, in regards to your email, I have that now here, but it says add to Dropbox
Well, no,
button
but
on my.
Steve can tell you that that's something that's not necessarily true, right, Steve?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it yet, Marco.
Yeah, I'm just looking on my phone because I'm using my tablet and I'm not on my main computer, but it has the outline of hit
Yeah, I
here,
see
add to
that.
Dropbox.
Yeah, there's an invitation, and I think Robert's showing us on the phone. Says let it be play along Dropbox, add to Dropbox.
Yeah,
Or what's the other one? Bob, hold it up a little bit more. Steve, can you spotlight him? He's got the
Hang
phone
on
telling me what it says.
just a second.
Yeah, there we go. And then
yeah, that's what I'm
what
talking about.
what's underneath add to Dropbox? Anything else?
Just reply and
Oh, drop
that's
reply.
all.
Okay. Okay. So what you may want to do, because the files are too big for me to send, and I can't send you registration on an email because it won't work. Remember we talked about that last week about thank you so much. We it's an extension called REG, and the the computers don't like that. So the only way I can access those files is sending you through Dropbox. Now, you don't have to go buy anything Dropbox. Dropbox is a free app, but it's limited by the amount of memory that they give you, and that's how they kind of put the hook on your mouth. So what you should do is get the app, use it, and then when you're done grabbing what you grab, empty it. Then you'll never run out of room. But what people do is they just keep, oh, then next, 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 and then next thing you know, they'll tell you, hey, $29 for the next 25 years of your life until you're buried. That's all you have to do is use it to get the things from me, and then empty it out, and then it'll be fine. So I'll ask Robert if there's another way to reach out, but I know Steve and I have bumped heads with sending registration through an email. It just doesn't like it, and I can't go back to Japan, or I'm sorry, China and Italy, and tell them, hey, instead of REG, call it REN. And then now none of my stuff works, so the whole organ doesn't work, so we don't want to do that. And I've seen REG before, but I don't know why this is a weird one for some reason. So let me know how you make out with that, but at least accept the invitation for now. If you already have Dropbox, not a problem. If you don't have you can download the app, and they're always trying to sell it to you. Hey, well, this week 10% off, and they're always asking. Just keep saying no, 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 no. It's a really good company. It's a really good product, and once you get used to it and how to use it, it's fun. And Jerry, I know you know what to do because you get all the stuff from class. So if you're wondering about add to Dropbox, just make sure that you clean out your Dropbox because if every week I'm going to send you something, and within 2 3 weeks you're going to run out of room.
Yeah,
Once
my
you
Marco,
question.
let me make a suggestion. Go, get the free Dropbox, and when you're done with that week's files to your USB, you may also want to create a place on your computer, your laptop, or whatever you're using, and offload and copy that stuff to there, then delete it out of your Dropbox. That way you have a copy in case your stick goes bad or
Yeah,
you
that's
need
true.
to re-download the stick or something like that. And
That's
that's
true.
pretty simple to do. A grandkid could probably help you do that if you don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike
that's
Marco.
yeah.
My only question there was I realized how to use it, but are all the files in that? If I hit that, then it's going to open up and load, and then I'll be downloading it into my Dropbox files, right?
Yeah, but what's going to happen? Because I already thought about that. What I'm doing within that folder called the MK5000 font folder. Then they're going to be subdivided in things. So the one for today
Okay,
is called the Play Along Let It Be. Then next week, inside the main folder that we all share, will be another folder called
okay,
Airplane or whatever I decide to do. So that way we'll
got
keep
it.
them all separate. Otherwise, then it's impossible to manage.
Right,
You get,
I understand now.
and that works. So, and then
Okay,
Scooter,
thank you.
yeah, I think I saw something about filling. So we can talk about that next week. Let me see what you said. I can't
Hang
tell.
on. Back to the chats.
Got
You
it.
want me to,
What does it say? Next week,
okay,
can you go
there,
over the two fill
yeah,
buttons, volume?
first,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure.
first of all, Mike put up that they now have an SD Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
If you have Facebook, you can go to that and request to be admitted. It's not a public site; it's more of a private site. And Mike taking care of that. And Gene still wants to know how to make a space when naming a song. And
Yeah.
then
So we
Scooter said,
we can cover that. That's very easy. Let's do that real quick. So I don't want to. We've been avoiding that question for a while, and it's kind of when you see it, you're like gonna say, "Well, I think a Cuban that didn't go to college invented this because it doesn't make any sense," but it does. So here we go. So let's just take any file just to rename it so we can go through the process, and I'll get closer with the camera. So here we go. So let's pick. Hang on, let me get us in place first. So I'll just pick a folder that the name's messed up. So let's pick. Here it says new folder. Okay. So I'm gonna hit rename it just so we can go through the process. So I hit rename, and then you get this black window, right? So I start. I'm gonna call it. Uh, uh, no, and then we need a space, right? So if you hit the 1, 2, 3 next to it, it's an open window. There's nothing there. So by hitting that, then the cursor moves. You see that? And I can just make as many spaces as I want. So I'm just keep making spaces. You see how it's moving the cursor? Then you also, instead of a cursor, you can use the little, I forget what they call that in English. What do they call that in English, Steve? When you see like little lines. Can you see that
"Oh,
okay on the camera?
ellipsis or something," I think.
Hang on, let me take the phone. Let me take the phone off of here. Here we go. So let's start over again. Let me cancel. So I'm gonna rename this folder that says new folder. So I hit rename, and then I get this window. You see that? So let's call it B, and then I want to put right back. So I need a space right there. So the space is hitting this 1, 2, 3. When you hit it once, you get an empty spot, and if you hit it again, you get that little line. So you can put B and then the little line. So while it's there, if I hit this button, which is the line, then the line appears in here. B, see the line? Then I can go back to my letters. B right back. R, I, G, H, T, B, right. And then I need a space now, right? So I hit 1, 2, 3. And next to 1, 2, 3, there's nothing, which is this guy. See, 1, 2, 3 is here. This is the one, and when I hit it, it moves the cursor over. See, B right. Then I can go back to my letters, and then finish the sentence. B A C K. Be right back. And then I just hit the word save, and disappears. There's the new file. Be right back. Now,
Marco, how do
yeah,
you back up the spacer? One space. Just
the
back up
space.
one.
The space is when you hit the 1, 2, 3. It appears in a blank spot. The next to it, 1, 2, 3, which is this guy. This next to it, which is number 5, that's the empty space. That's just move the cursor. If I want the line, if I hit 1, 2, 3 again, then you get that little line which is right next to it too, right there. That
But
makes
my
sense?
question is, how do you back up one space?
Oh, the backup, it's over here. Uh, right here. So this is
Okay,
backward and
got it, got
forward.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. So let's say I made a mistake. Let's write a bunch of mistakes here. Look at all that. So I just go back right here, and then when I get back to it, I can hit the word delete, and it starts deleting all the names. See? It's really very computerized idea. So backwards, forwards, delete, rename, save, and cancel. So if I made a mistake, I don't know what I'm doing, cancel. Another cool thing, if you want to know about this, you can go to your computer, and Steve does this all the time. Go back to me, Steve. And then you can rename the file on your PC. You can't do that on a Lowry organ. You, you can. It's APST, whatever. This organ goes by the name of the file. So if it's wrong and you're having a hard time in the window and I don't know what to do, just take it out. Remember which one that you're trying to rename, and then go to the computer, click on the file, and hit rename, and then just and you're done. So that's another way of doing it, but it's easier on the organ while you're working on it. I get it. I understand. So, oh my God, I'm gonna have to take a medicine that doesn't make me talk as much as I talk. I talk too much. I just get excited about music. So, all right. So I have nothing else except accept that file, and we're gonna get another invitation where you'll be invited to the folder. Right now, half of you are only invited to the Let It Be play along. But I'll talk to Robert, or maybe Steve can help me with that. Steve's pretty good with Dropbox stuff. And then you may get another invitation from me to join the MK-5000 fun folder. That's what you want to be in. Like I said, all the things that are going inside, you can access that stuff. So I hope you're excited about it. It's going to be a fun thing, and you'll have all kinds of extra things you can do with your organ, and every week have some more fun together. So, well, thank you so much. I hope it wasn't too much. I think it's fun. I'll let you know what happens if I get to me if I get to 1 million hits. Then I'll start becoming a little more popular. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Have a great day, and try the play along. You're gonna really like it. So, take care, everybody. Bye.